Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Erin Yoga, and after your request, I would like to place this short tutorial regarding crow pose, or the first arm balancing we actually use in yoga practice. So, in order to actually try this pose, you need to have a relatively connection and quite strong shoulders. You might have the ability to place a knee closer to your armpit and check your wrist to really get a nice strong wrist in the mat. So this is a little bit some tips how you can get, like you are beginner or maybe you have some yoga practice, but you are still scared to actually get into this posture. So for today, I will use a bolster. Be welcome to use, if you practice home, a pillow. But don't ever try this pose if you are not warm up. So please take a little bit of time, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, to warm up the wrist, warm up the shoulders, connect with the core and hips. So after all this done, you start to get a little bit and notice what's going on. So let's get first I will place my pillow, my bolsters into my mat. So just be very careful on this situation. So the bigger fear, if you've never done it, is you fall on your face or you broke your neck or something like that. So we'll try to work on this. First of all, we can place your hands, just place your hands on the mat and spread the fingers. So it's a very important one tip I can give you here to connect firmly your palms into the mat. So that means you're not just relaxing here and collapse your chest. You're pushing here, spread the fingers, and the fingertips will be like brakes when you're moving forward and back. So when you're feeling like this, let's say relatively the shoulders on top of the wrist to start, and after I said you warm up quite okay, start to move your bum up, and I'm just from here start to bend the knees to the side. So if you notice, even if you don't have proper malasana, hold the body down, it's okay, because this one is required to lift your bum a little bit higher, and from here I'm start to connect my knee, somewhere along my armpit and my elbow, somewhere in this region. Right, so from here, we don't bend your elbows to the side. This is one of the big mistakes. Bring the elbows in. Observe my position of my elbows. They are a little bit in, and I'm looking on my bolster. You can shuffle your body in the place to notice place and see if you can connect your knees with your place I said, between your armpit and your elbows, and somehow remain maybe here. This is a very important now to draw your belly button in around tiny bit your spine. Now see, very gentle, don't leave your legs down. Gentle place your head on the bolsters and gentle come back. If it's too low, of course, you can have a bigger bolster. Just be careful to be stable. So not something to move. My mind perhaps is not quite stable. But if you practice home, something, to just touching a little bit and come back, touching and little come back. So you can practice this, you can incorporate this like a nice practice for you. You touch your bolsters and come back. You touch your bolsters and come back. So if you really, after a while, you're feeling, oh, this is okay, I can stay and I can feel confident, you start to get it back and coming into touch the bolster with your head, and see from the pivotal before, leave your even head on the bolster, observing I'm not placing my forehead or my front of my head or my back. Something I feel nice, the top of my head, and I lift one toes up and I place it down, pushing the mat and coming back. So always when I do this, I have a quite strong connection on my hands. The hands now replace the legs, the sole of the foot, so they are really, really in connection. Don't relax your belly, really suck the belly in and feeling nice and strong. This is how I actually remember a few years ago, I trained myself because I was scared not to fall on my head, and that will work quite right. Because what's happening here, in time you start moving up and you start to place in here, and I start to move it a little bit closer, placing one leg, moving one leg and playing with one toes on another and come back. Don't try too many times because you might be dizzy, or maybe if you feel tired and you allow your elbows to display. As long as you connect your elbows in, palms in the mat, bring the belly in, and just playing with this for a while, and this will create a good foundation. in time. I know some people even, they like to take the block underneath of the toes and again move a little bit the bum up. It's also variation. For me, works much better this one. And in time, you notice you can come and you start to bring your body a little bit into the bolster. You know this is all safe, and you might start moving one toes and another. So this is a little tutorial about this. Of course, full expression of this pose. It's in time, you remove, you're taking time to placing and you reconnect these knees on the elbows, around the spine, pushing up, taking here one toes, even one toes and another, and as a gentle to lift up. Oh, again, so sometimes if you want to get a bit deeper, in time you start to extend your arms. And if you fall on the head, this is a very scary place. Remember, if you find like this, still push the mat, still you're in control of your hands. If I fall here, I'm never falling from my front of my head, my back or my head. Observing, I will fall with the top of my head. So if I put a block on the top of my head, that's the way when I contact, and not very strong, just nice and easy. I can show you how I fall from this crow pose. Push the hands away, remember, contacting your fingers, fingertips nice. Observing, I'm not ever extend my fingers. I'm really start to grab my fingers into my mouth. Bring the elbows in, checking legs, moving here, move your knees up and go forward. And I'm starting here to think about, oh, now lift one toes, lift another, a nice one here. If I feel I fall, I start to fall on my head. That's not a big deal. Observe, I'm still in control. If you're scared, take one toe and another, place it down. Take a nice pose, stay here for a second. And that was a short tutorial for total beginner of crow pose. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you soon on the studio. Namaste.